Wow, today's episode is called Libero. Libero. That's right, I'm so excited to just use a Libero. Recent form has been weird. Hello viewers, welcome back to Thames FC with me, Dr. BenGFM. We'll take a look at the league table in just a moment as we play Hull and Blackburn today. They promised we'd play Blackburn based on where we positioned last episode. And Hull is the team that's joining that. But you can see our recent form since that Stoke 4-3 and a fantastic comeback. Only 2 league wins since then, but weirdly, a streak of undefeatedness. A 2-0 defeat to Derby, though, followed that Stoke game. And then a 0-0 against Manchester City and a 3-1 against Liverpool and Arsenal have proven us to have some really good form, but draws, oh dearie me, against Bournemouth, Sunderland, Southampton and West Brom, as well as getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup by West Ham. It's been a very curious time. As I say, we're unbeaten in our last 7 games in the Premier League, but it's not really that impressive when you consider how many draws we've had. But the 2 wins against Liverpool and Arsenal have kept us competitive in that top lot. It's just been quite weird. So you can see from this league table then, we are in 6th position, 20 points, just ahead of Blackburn, who we play later on. Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea all on 24 points. Liverpool and Arsenal just behind as well, not too far. And in reality, we're 4 points off the top of the table right now. It's been a very interesting time. Teams have been losing, drawing lots of games. Ours being the main team in the league for that, more draws than anybody else so far this season. And system-wise, we've changed things. So we're playing the Libero in attack. Frank the Tank is sitting in this deeper role. Him and Ortiz have been getting on like a house on fire, but hopefully Frank pushes forward and doesn't get too close to them. But I've been playing it in recent games, and it does seem to make us defensively a lot more stable. It gives Ben-Hur room to manoeuvre, although he's actually injured for today's game. Might be back for the second one against Blackburn, which will be important. But yeah, you can see the team here, and this is what we've been going with. There's a few changes since we last met. Ortiz is still in goal. Frank obviously comes in as the Libero, although I occasionally play him in the anchorman role, but you can see he's getting a connection now with Insigne. They're bonding nicely. Antonio and Insigne sit just in front then. Pierre at left back. Weiss comes in at right back. He's just overall a slightly better defender than Ike. Neither of them are fantastic, but I just think Weiss has got a little bit more about him. He's worth a lot more as well, so in the future he might be worth a little bit more if we ever choose to sell him on. But that marking and tackling are much better than Ike's, as good as he is, and physically they're pretty similar. Mentally there's not too much between them. So Weiss just gets the heads up over that over Ike over that one. Haludum, you can see, is the deep line playmaker alongside Jimenez. Those two have been very, very consistent throughout this season. Obrnik is having to come in on the right hand side. There's the suspension to Franklin. Just did a bad tackle. Got 3 games. Of course he did. Van den Bosch on the left. He's the one for me that sometimes performs fantastically. When Oscar Rowney comes in, he always does quite a good job. It's interesting. And Rodis up front is playing. I think he might even be starting one of his first games. Yeah, this is his first start for the team. He's really been a bit part player. Obrnik and Ben-Hur have been sharing the striking positions, but you can see so far Obrnik hasn't even scored a goal for me this season, and putting him on the right hand side isn't probably helping. Ben-Hur has got the majority of our goals, 9 for him so far this season. He's having a pretty good year, but he needs more help. We need more goals in the side, and so far we're not really getting that. Herzog's played a variety of games and has actually looked pretty good. We're going to have to make sure he's on the bench for today, and at some point he'll probably feature and come on, but so far it's strange. There's games where he looks really good, there's games where he doesn't look so good, and I think against Hull and those teams, I like to give my attacking players a little bit more space to manoeuvre. Sometimes I feel like it gets a little bit too compact, and having that player in that centre position is the problem cause of that. So let's see how we get on today. Then Hull and Blackburn to come. Let's get into it. And Hull are in 10th position, as I think Frank's just been given the captaincy. My word. Alright, they're playing the 4-2-3-1, very familiar system to everybody watching, I'm sure. And then we've got Frankie Boy sat in behind that back 4. I love it. A Libero. I've always wanted a series where I've been able to use a Libero. And when I saw him in Chile, and I thought, he's the man, he's the one. And as soon as we've got him in, we look really like we're not losing very often. We're just not winning quite as often. It's trying to find that balance between the two. I have been training him as an anchorman, but I just feel like in this position here, he's slightly better. His passing ability, he's got 17 as his passing attribute. He's very good in that role. And we'll see today then, what sort of influence will he have? Will we draw another game against a side that you would think we'd be able to beat? So far, we are the best of the rest, really. There's this top 5 that's emerged, and Tottenham have slipped back into the lower sort of middle of the league table, and it's chasing that top 5, which is going to prove to be very difficult. 4 points off the top, though, with 11 gone. It's not over quite yet. Hull, though, look pretty good, and actually, we've been going goals behind. We saw it against Stoke in our last episode, but we tend to concede first a lot, as Hull are working this quite nicely. Powell working it, and you can see there, though, an interception comes in, and now Rodis. We've not seen too much of him in a Thames shirt, but he combines nicely with Jimenez, who drives forward. Oh, the shot comes in from Jimenez. My word, a bolt from the blue. Jacobo Jimenez with a lovely finish. I think it was left-footed, drilled. The keeper surely should have done better, but who cares? What a goal from Thames. Rodis here brings it forward. It's a slide tackle that actually comes in. I thought they combined, they did not. Jimenez, 20 yards out, just sort of passes it firmly, goes underneath the goalkeeper, and Thames take a 1-0 lead. And Weiss on that right-hand side. Now, hopefully, we can make this pressure pay and actually get ourselves another one. Yakubov gives it to Bosch, who boshes it a goal, but doesn't quite go in. And with this defensive system we've got now, it allows the fullbacks to really push forward, and we've got sort of this 3 sitting now with the Libero playing the cover role as Ortiz with a great save pushes that onto the post. A good chance for Hull though. It's really fun just watching how the Libero operates in these sorts of systems. I feel like you can only, people might think now, I'm going to try to play a Libero. I don't think you can play a Libero unless your midfield 2 are very good and have the ability to control a game. And almost every game we've had, not so much in this one actually, our possession's much higher than the other team. And that's really important. Otherwise, I feel like if you give the ball up, you're just inviting pressure because you don't have those extra bodies in midfield. All right, and so far, so good then. I certainly say I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. 5 draws for us so far this season. It would be very nice to get a win here. All right, Van den Bosch has picked up a little bit of an injury there. We'll keep an eye on that. As Jimenez, oh my word, we've got a gap in the middle. As he goes through, he probably should have scored because we're in attack, of course. That makes Frank thinks, all right, I'm going to join the attack. The ball was lost, and that is the worst thing we can do. That's why keeping possession in midfield is so important. With 20 minutes to go then, we're going to get Van den Bosch off. Oscar Brownlie's going to come on that far side, and there's always this temptation. I'll pause the game. What I often do in these situations, if we're losing, I will take Frank off and I will bring on Herzog. And ordinarily, we maybe make a bit of a difference. I think Bob is going to be my choice, though, for Adis, who's had a little bit of an indifferent time. Advance forward for Bob, though. We'll see how he does. We've got, 20 minutes to go. Midfielder playing pretty well. Obrenek needs to do a little more, though, I feel. And I must say, we do miss Franklin when he's not here, too. He was a massive part about our wins against Liverpool and Arsenal, as there's 15 or so minutes to go. The ball's launched forward to nobody. It's actually fired straight back. Hull bring it forward. It's deflected. And have we put that in? Has Grimes put it in? It's given to John Grimes. And Hull level things up. We'll go attacking. And we're going to push. What I tend to do here is we'll push Frank into the anchorman role as well. And just see then. He's still learning it, viewers. I want to see a three-dimensional replay there. We didn't get one. All right, Bob picks it up. And some work to do for him. Jimenez has burst through the centre. Jimenez with a shot on goal. Oh, hits at the post. And it goes wide of the goal. My word. Hull forward again, though, and applying a lot of pressure here. Good defensive clearance from Weiss. And now maybe a counter-attack. If we can get Oscar Rowney on that left-hand side bursting through. No, the tackle comes in, and it goes straight through past Frank. He's all over the place at the moment. Goes to Heath on this left-hand side, and Weiss, he's giving it away. Michael Oliver awards the penalty, and it's happened again. Penalty City. Hull have got one. Will they score it? Grimes to make it 2-1, and Ortiz stays down the middle. Can't keep it out. Hits him. Oh, what a shambles. I feel like Ortiz should maybe do slightly better. If he spent less time doing his arms in the air, he might have saved that. All right, 5 or so minutes to go, and we've pushed forward, trying to go for a winner here, and it's hurt us. Mellor comes forward. Hull could score another. Grimes at the back post. Good defending from Antonio, but this has not been good. Herzog's going to come on for Frank. We're going to make that change now. No Ben-Hur today, though. No Franklin. We miss them both quite a lot. You've already seen Ben-Hur is our main supplier of goals, so when he's not around, we're lacking. All right, we bring it forward. Herzog, first action of the game for him as he takes on his man into Bob. If you can play one more, maybe goes for goal, and Bob shoots just wide. Good opportunity for us, though. 5 minutes of added time. Is there anything left? Ball through. Hull could make it 3, and They've had some chances in this game, I tell you what. All right, not long left to go. 3 minutes as that ball across the field is not good at all. Grimes, although we get it back. Antonio now, he's got this. Well, whatever we do here has got to be good, and it is good. Weiss in lots of space. Obrenek into Bob, and Herzog's with him. Ball inside, Alexander cuts it out, and it could be Hull again, but no. Halodum gets it back. Herzog, you can play through Oscar Rowney, who hits the post. Oh, dear. Herzog again, flicks on Bob! Oh, he's offside! I can't believe it. I'm not sure he was, that was pretty close. Corner, last action of the game, played in Obrenek. There is no seconds remaining as Hull get it clear. 7th position. Tottenham get back into that top 6 and it becomes all too familiar. 5-minute period in which we fell asleep a little bit and Hull have done us. Right then, not the best team talk either. As we go into this Blackburn game, needing to get back on track very, very quickly. Hull they're not one of the worst sides in the division. Admittedly, they're in 10th, so they're not too bad. Annoying. And the undefeated streak of 5 draws or whatever it is comes to an end. We've just had an offer accepted for Ferrero. Now, you've not seen Ferrero before. This was a guy that I looked at in the summer. A few people did wonder, why didn't you bring in like a big name? Why didn't you go for someone massive? We ended up getting Herzog in, but the first choice, option number 1, was Ferrero. Now, he wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't even let me offer him a contract before. He wanted to join a bigger club. We now have the opportunity to sign him, and I'm going to try. So someone's drilling outside. I don't know if you can... I'll shut the window. All right, then let's figure out if we can get a contract with this guy. You want to know if he's any... Okay. So this is Carlos Ferrero from Gremio, the Argentinian. I think he looks amazing. You can see in his last 3 seasons, he's been absolutely unbelievable for Gremio, and I would love to be able to get him in. How did Gremio finish, actually? That might be important. So Gremio came 3rd in their division, which isn't the best. I want him. And if I have to spend big to get him, I'm prepared to spend big to get him. Because right now, I'm sort of torn between playing Frank or Herzog in that role. If you get Ferrero in, he's your main man. He's your key. He's the one you want to play in that central position. I mean, just look at him. He's literally every midfield orchestra. I love that. All right, let's see then. Let's see what he'll accept. This is going to be a challenge. We'll get him a Team of the Year bonus. We'll get him an International Cap bonus. If we win the Premier League, we'll get him a bonus. You have to kind of do this or they don't come. Relegation release fee, I will put it as low as, well, I'll put it at $1 million, so it's very low. Okay, still wants 120 grand and 6 million. Now, I can't offer him that at the moment with my wage structure, but I can change it a little bit. So can we potentially, if I keep changing it, can we potentially offer a little more? Maybe. Now, our key player limit right now is at 94 million. Well, I'll offer his agent a lot more money, and we'll see if that makes a difference, as well as upping his appearance fee to around that 35,000 mark. Now, I understand I'm paying big bucks for this player, but at the same time, I need to get this kind of guy in if we're going to challenge this top 5 or 6. Okay, suggest terms again. We've upped quite a few things here. We'll actually make it 250k if we win the Premier League. He still wants this massive signing on fee. There's this £2 million cap that I am struggling with, frankly. Can I go to the board right now and be like, more wage budget, please? Okay, they've said yes. They're delighted to grant my request. I'm delighted too. Okay, and all of a sudden, we can offer him what he kind of wants. So we'll up this to 100,000, this to 4 million. We're still not going to try and give him everything he wants, as we suggest terms again. He's loving life. Okay, terrific news. It looks like Carlos Ferrero in the January period will be joining Thames. Of course, we don't get him straight away. That is the problem. But for £21 million, I think we're doing all right with that. I think we're getting ourselves a star, frankly. That's the way I'm looking at it, on a 5-year contract. All right, well, I'll have to find out next time. Hopefully the next episode will be the January, actually, the very start of January. So we'll see if we get that boy in. This is annoying. Damaged heel. Antonio's he's going to be unavailable. Katie can probably come in and do the job, though, or maybe even Robbie Edmond. 10 to 12 days, not ideal. What do we do in this next game? That's the question. Do you go Frank? Do you go with Herzog? It's a challenge. All right, work permit is delaying the transfer, but it's looking good. All right, viewers, welcome back. Do you risk a slightly injured Ben-Hur because you know he's your only chance of getting goals? That is the question that confronts me right now. I don't know if you can risk a groin strain when he's got one of those. I think we go with Obranek and we just hope that he gets the goals. He's got his first cap recently for Serbia, so he should be on a high, right? 19 years of age, playing in the Premier League. He should be loving life. This is his big chance. Come on, Obranek. Blackburn, you can beat Blackburn. All right, then Ortiz will be in goal. Frank continues as the Libero, playing on the support this time. He prefers that a little more. Ike has to come in because Weiss is injured, as well as Antonio. Edmund is going to be the defender to partner Insigne at the back. Pierre at left back, of course. Jimenez and Hudlum in the centre. Franklin's back in the team after suspension on the right hand side. Van der Bosch on the left, and as I say, Obranek up top through the middle. Ben Hurt's on the bench. We might see him if things get a little desperate. Okay, 4-4-2 lines up for Blackburn. I think that gives us a relatively good chance, but we're very close in the league table. You remember last episode, we were right up there together, and we've both fallen away a little bit and succumbed to the pressures of the better sides of the division, mainly because I'm losing to teams like Hull, apparently. I feel like a defeat's been coming. It's just typical that you had to be here, wasn't it? Just spying, just watching. I like that you watched, though. It's nice. Okay, let's see how we get on then. Only 2 defeats for us this season, so that was the second of the 13 games played. Let's see, can we avoid one today, though? And not only avoid the defeat, get ourselves the victory as we find Franklin back in the team. Love to see him. He beats men for fun, normally. I was going to say ordinarily, but I went with normal instead. As the ball's cleared, though, Jimenez has got to do a bit of tracking here. And the ball through the middle might be a problem. But no, Jimenez does fantastically well. Gets back at his man. And Pierre now has some time to figure out what he wants to do. Finds Insigne. Back into Jimenez. And the ball forward. That's so poor. Up it goes. And Insigne doesn't know where he is. Oh, God. It's a penalty. Again, genuinely, last episode we conceded a penalty. 2 today. I don't think I've conceded one in between. I don't think we have. Steps up. Ortiz with a save. Thank goodness. You could see as that ball was in the air, Insigne didn't know where he was. So much on the shoulders of Obrenick right now. He's got to do something special. It's annoying because this makes the Libero experiment look like it's not really working. I mean, in reality, we've lost 2 games all season, so it's not going that badly. Right, we're on the ball, though. Jimenez has got it again. He's so key in this team. He really is. As Van den Bosch now finds Obrenick, who's got runners all over. Ball towards Jimenez. Can he get himself another goal? He hits the post, and he hits the other post, and he's finally scored. That is... I've never seen a goal like that for quite... It's an own goal. It's given an own goal. He didn't even get it. He hit both posts and didn't even end up getting the goal. Let's see it again in 3 dimensions. This is one of those ones you have to see in 3 dimensions. Ball made forward. Jimenez. He's hit the first post. He's hit the other post. And then the defender kicks. It's not a good time for Jimenez, is it? It's just not a good time. I don't know how he feels after. Does he even get the assist? I bet he doesn't even get the assist. So far, they've missed a penalty. He's got a goal. We've hit the woodwork twice in the space of literally 3 seconds. Imagine that. Right foot, left. Oh, it's just not going in. And then just when you think you're about to score, a defender kicks it in for you. You're furious. At half-time, though, 1-0 to the good against Blackburn. Again, this is a hugely important game to win this. It keeps the gap between us and them a little deeper. And here we go, then straight to the second half. I went with a team talk there that I thought would produce more of a reaction. It did not. You can see the top 3 seems to have disbanded as well. 30, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. It looks good, doesn't it? And then City ahead on those 3 points. As there's a corner to be played in. It's dangerous. It's another penalty. I actually can't believe it. And Insigne again is giving it away. Ortiz is going to have to go massive here. Or we might even be forced to go 2 up top. Deleuze this time takes it. And this time Ortiz beats it down the middle. I genuinely can't believe it. I mean, not good. All right. Well, I'm not going to change anything quite yet. I'm going to leave it a little longer, although... Obrenick's going to have to come off. Ben-Hur, he's injured. He's got a groin issue, but I'm going to risk him for the final 20 minutes. An injured Ben-Hur is more likely to score at the moment than Obrenick, and that is the situation, the issue we've got, really. All right, 10 minutes to go, and we're not seeing a great deal. 5 minutes left. Is there another change in this? I guess Herzog for Frank. We have to do it. And if we score, everyone's going to say, why aren't you just starting him in that position? Because you've seen he scored 3 goals this season. You've seen 2 of them are right at the beginning of the season. His recent games haven't been that good. As we take Frank out now, and Blackburn nearly score. A lot more possession, not nearly as many chances. 3 minutes to go, though, as Ortiz launches one up towards Herzog. And now Tyson is going to play it inside. And can we win this back in these sorts of areas? We can. And Insigne gets it. Hello him into Franklin. Finds Herzog. If he can play through Ben-Hur, he does. But it's a little too late. Lack of communication, it felt a little bit like. And now Blackburn with a chance. And it's very up and down. Edmund manages to cover, though. As it goes forward again, it's not really settling for either side as Herzog now drives forward with it. This is what you want to see from your attacking midfielder. Ben-Hur chance, and that is why, folks, you give Ben-Hur the opportunity in these kind of games, and he gets the goal. Thames moving up to 5th, back in the lead, leapfrog Liverpool and Spurs at this point. But what a finish from Ben-Hur. 1 moment in the game, that's all it takes. I said, he's more likely to score than a fully fit Obrenick, and that is why. What a finish from Ben-Hur. That is sensational. That's why he's the star of this save, in my opinion, and that's what you want to see from your main man up front. It's a corner to be played in. I suspect nothing will come of it, and that's full time. And what a lovely way to end an episode after a disappointing defeat. Great penalty save from Ortiz, don't forget that. Jimenez went close and didn't quite get it, but Ben-Hur is once again the man of the moment. We called this episode Libero. It should have been called Ben-Hur is bloody brilliant. And there we are then, that is going to bring an end to today's episode. Goals are flown elsewhere. Derby 6-2 winners over Watford, and Bournemouth upsetting Arsenal. Wow, you don't see that too often. City thrashing Manchester United 4-0 too, and Chelsea drawing. So again, it remains very tight at the top, and we're very much a part of it. Sitting in 5th right now, Thames. I mean, I just love to see Thames amongst those teams. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then for more. 5 p.m. Join me, won't you? And we love with care. If we're not to mention until next time. Goodbye. What a goal, Ben-Hur. What a goal!